The original 1990 live-action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie was released 35 years ago in March of this year. And as a result of that, the movie is being re-released in theaters next week as of right now. So I was looking at the showtimes on Fandango.com when I thought about this classic Simpsons episode. The Simpsons, a complete guide to our favorite family. This book, published in 1997, catalogs every Simpsons episode made up until that time. This is how we did it back in the day, kids. We didn't have internet. We didn't have Wikipedia. If we wanted to learn about something, we had to get an actual book and read. And if we go to this page, Season 4, episode 6 or something, Itchy and Scratchy the movie. This episode is about how Bart basically gets away with everything all the time. Marge makes Homer punish Bart in a very serious way that will actually stick so he can learn a lesson. Homer decides to forbid Bart from seeing Itchy and Scratchy the movie, which is the thing to go and see at that time. And then Bart never sees the movie. And then the episode is current, 1992. At the end of the episode, they cut to 40 years later. Bart is an adult. They show the future. He is now Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of the United States. And him and Homer finally go see the Itchy and Scratchy movie in classic re-release. So he's now seeing the movie in the future from when he was a kid for the first time as an adult, when he's gotten so old that the movie from when he was a kid is now a classic. Now that episode aired in 1992, and this is the year 2025. When they cut to the future, it's the year 2032, 40 years later. So the timing is not exactly right, but basically I've aged into it being the same reality all these years later, because Bart and I were 10 years old at the same time. I grew up, he stayed the same age, and now I've gotten so old that the classic movie from when I was 10 years old is 35 years old. I'm not sure these kids today would understand how having this VHS tape was like everything at that time, okay? The Simpsons and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were both big in the same era. We did not have streaming apps, and we did not have online gaming. We did not have tons and tons and tons of options. We had Nintendo Entertainment System, that guy right there, and we had VCRs, and that was it. And little did we know that 40 years later, both the Ninja Turtles and the Simpsons would still be going very, very strong, and still both be huge franchises. The Simpsons, Ninja Turtles has been subject to many a reboot, but it is currently owned by Nickelodeon and is bigger and better than ever before. And The Simpsons is in its freaking 35th season or something like that. I don't even know. The point is, here we are all these years later. Here is an assortment of the original Playmates Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles line: Michelangelo, Leonardo, Raphael, Donatello, Splinter, April O'Neil, Bebop, Rocksteady, and Shredder were all first wave. Then, of course, the animated series and the toy line were both really huge hits. So Casey Jones and Android Body Krang came along in later waves. But more importantly, if you were a kid in the late 1980s to early 1990s, say 1988 to 1992, when I was from 8 years of age to 12 years of age, and you did not have these toys, you were simply not the most radical kid in the neighborhood. If you did not at least have the 4 main Ninja Turtles, you were simply not the cool kid on the block. And that's just how it was back then. So are you a former 80s kid and current middle-aged adult like me? Or are you a new school fan to either The Simpsons or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Either way, I'm Jeff W. Roche. On the internet, I'm known as The Man Strikes Again, or TMSA for short. And thank you so much for joining me on this nostalgia-fueled trip back to the late 80s and early 90s, and then all the way back to the present here in 2025 today. Thanks so much for watching.